Welcome. Welcome everybody at this lecture, this guest lecture from Motivated Minds. I'm very curious what you think about personal development, so I sensed some things in the room, so I asked about personal development. Is there anybody who looked already at the website or social media or something about Motivated Minds? No is also an answer, not bad. There are no good or bad answers, I will say. There are always honest answers. Well, this guest lecture is very special because at most schools or most institutions, like yours, an education institution, we're always talking about professional development, right? And personal development is something that is there, right? We discussed it, you have a POP, personal ontwikkelingsplan, but it's not very important, right? You fill something in, you make a report, you give it to your teacher, and then it's okay, you get a grade and you think, wow, I did it. But personal development is way more than just a popverslag. I always say you have a professional development, and that's what you're doing at school here, right? You get a diploma, you're going to work somewhere, you learn how to evolve as a professional in your career. But you also need to know who you are and what do you love. And what makes you happy? How do I set goals and how do I get goals? The combination of those two, professional and personal, that is what makes you really successful and really happy. Because I spoke to a lot of people in my time as a coach. And the one thing that I found out, even with young professionals, is that if you have a diploma, it can be the best one in the world, but if you do not know who you are, you're not doing what you love, you will be very unhappy. You will have end of the month maybe 5, 6, 7 or 8,000 euros every month in your bank account, but you're not happy because you're not living the life that you want. So in order to be happy, you need both. And today I'm going to dive in personal development from another perspective, I hope, to help you see what personal development is. And when I started this company, I made a sort of statement. I wrote a sort of statement. So I'm very curious about what you think about a statement. So read the statement, if this is working. Is it? Yeah, it is. So read the statement, and I'm very curious about what do you think about the statement I've wrote. And one of the most beautiful things, I think, when I speak, when I'm at an event, is interactions. Interactions with each other is one of the greatest things that there is. Because interactions help you to open up your mind, right? When you ask a question and you get an answer, it will broaden your perspective. And it will help you grow as a human being. So asking questions is the most important thing you can do if you want to grow, if you want to learn, and if you want to get more information, right? And it will help others as well, because others have maybe a perspective about things, and because you ask a question, the other one can also think, and he can ask a question about that question. And before you know it, we have a great interaction and a great debate or a discussion, or just a talk, about the information. It's like having a map, and you're going somewhere, and it's like you're missing a piece of the map. So you ask me for help. Hey, do you have the other side of the map? And I said, yeah, I have. And now you can put those maps together, and now you have a whole other perspective by just asking a question. So questions and interactions are very, very valuable. So my first question for you is, if you read this, what pops up? There are no good or bad answers, just what pops up. Does anyone have a feeling with this? Or maybe you say, what a bullshit is also an answer. Anyone who says, oh, I like, or I don't like what I see.
I like the word growth mindset.
Growth mindset, yeah. In one of the lectures, I want to tell you more about growth mindset. One of the most beautiful mindsets to have to overcome obstacles. It's a way of thinking. Thank you. Yeah. The thing is that if you read this, it's sort of that happiness is a choice. Read with me the first sentence. Happiness starts with small things, such as our daily choices. Hey, it's a choice. I can choose to do what I want on my day, that I will do that make me happy, or things that will not make me happy. Valuable interactions with others. I hope this interaction with me today is valuable for your personal development and for your professional goals. Valuable interactions are interactions where you get inspired, right? Where you have motivation, where somebody helps you, where somebody supports you when you're feeling down. Those are valuable interactions. But you can have also the opposite. People that will put you down, will say that that is not possible. So choose your interactions. It will help you to become happy or stimulate you. Healthy habits is also one. You can choose healthy habits. We all know we need to exercise to stay healthy. But it's our choice, our daily choice, if we do that or not, right? And a growth mindset, like you said. Develop a growth mindset that can help you. So in this case, happiness has a lot to do with the choices that you make as a human being. And today we're going to discuss it, like I said, as a little bit of interaction. And what I call, and when I have an event or when I speak, I always say, the room that I'm in, I wanted to create a safe space. So a safe space where we can talk with each other about this subject, and what's in the room stays in the room. And I got 3 rules. So I want to know from you guys if you are okay with those 3 rules. The first rule that I always have is no judgment. So everybody can say anything he likes. He can say, like I said, this is bullshit, or you can say, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Everything is okay. There's no judgment. It's just your perspective, right? The second one is no repercussions. So if you say to me, this is bullshit, I will not send you away. It's your perspective. So we can respect everybody's opinion and learn from everybody's opinion. Like I said, it will open our mind, and even I can learn from you with your answers and questions that you give me. And this is a little bit strange, but I call this giving unconditional love. Support someone who is saying something. Don't laugh at someone. Someone is willing to open up and tell us something, so be kind and support the other. To help them, ask the questions, to help them further, and maybe even you. So without further ado, I would like to start and maybe tell something about myself. I'm sorry this is in Dutch, because it's from my old website when I had another smaller coach company. But my name is Bwerani. I'm 35 years old. I founded Motivated Minds, and it's an offline and online coaching practice. We help at schools, at businesses. We do events for consumers. We have an online program. I'm going to tell you more about it because it's the program you are going to use, Meester je leven, or Master Your Life. And I did communications, like I said, in Holland, HBO. And after that, I did neuro-linguistic programming. I was a marketer for years, and I think until 3 years ago. So I was in the marketing, and I did the marketing from offline to online for big companies. And then I stopped. And I found this. This is my new found passion. And today I'm going to tell you something about the program that I developed that you guys are going to use, Meester je leven. And I don't know if you've seen it already, but I thought, okay, let's show you guys what it is. So I was very proud. 2 years ago, I made a video about this kind of coaching. I call it accountability coaching. And I created my own method where I coach people and my coaches coach people in to help them get where they want to go in life. And that's, oh, that's this. Hey, that's me. Oh, there is no sound. 1 moment. That's probably because I need to put it on this, then we have sound, I think.
Heb je voor jezelf wel eens een ambitieus doel gesteld? Aan het begin van het jaar stel je jezelf een doel. Misschien zeg je, ik ga 3 keer per week naar de sportschool. Of misschien zeg je, ik wil meer tijd doorbrengen met mijn kinderen. Assertiever zijn op werk. Misschien zeg je wel, dit jaar start ik mijn eigen bedrijf. Wat de reden ook mag zijn, waarschijnlijk heb je gemerkt dat je op een gegeven moment niet veel of niets meer deed. En dat is best frustrerend, toch? En wat ik nog vaak hoor om me heen is dat mensen zeggen, ja, ik kan het niet of ik heb nou eenmaal geen doorzettingsvermogen. En omdat je dan vaak tegen dezelfde obstakels aanloopt, zeg je, nou, dat komt later wel. Ik heb nu geen tijd en geld om dat op te lossen. Of je bent simpelweg al zo uitgeput door alle stress en alle druk van de dag, dat je niet eens de tijd hebt om na te denken over wat je nou echt wil. Terwijl dat misschien wel het belangrijkste is in het leven, toch? Bij Motivated Minds geloven we dat het behalen van je persoonlijke doelen en daarbij echt kunnen zijn wie je wil zijn, belangrijk is voor je eigen geluk. En daarom hebben we nagedacht.
Ah, that's the internet. Right. Let's put it out.
Die aansluit bij personen zoals jij en ik. Personen die een doel voor ogen hebben, maar die meer focus willen hebben, zodat ze echt kunnen krijgen wat ze willen. Je werkt met je eigen coach die kennis, ervaring en de vaardigheden heeft om van jou een echte high performer te maken. En bovendien maak je echt weer even die o zo belangrijke tijd voor jezelf en voor je persoonlijke ontwikkeling en voor je doelen. Dus als coaches van Motivated Minds hebben we de koppen bij elkaar gestoken en hebben we een methode ontwikkeld hoe we je succesvol op weg kunnen helpen om jouw doelen te behalen. Met het meeste je leven programma.
Excuses.
Alles in handen om je leven gelukkig en succesvol in te richten. Het wordt tijd om ook jouw leven te meesteren. Kijk voor meer informatie op onze website www.motivatedminds.nl.
So this is the video that I've made. It's one of the videos. It's for the program Meester je leven. And today we're going to dive in personal development, and at the end I'm going to talk about the program Meester je leven that's also for you guys. So are you ready to go and dive deep in personal development? Because this was just the beginning, that's the start. Well, let's start. In order to be happy in your life, this is a method we created. You need three things in your life. The first one is a sense of autonomy. And it says it already there, the desire to give direction to your life. For example, who of you guys have an elder or a grandparents? Grandparents that cannot drive anymore, or grandparents that are in a home, or grandparents that cannot get any groceries. And how did they respond when they heard for the first time that they cannot do the stuff that they did all their life? Were you there?
He was very heartbroken because he got sick last year and he couldn't go outside anymore. And also it was like 1.5 years ago, and also the same day he was better. Like when he was getting better, my grandpa died, so he was left alone, and now he don't really can go outside anymore. And my father always come every week to buy groceries for him. And yeah,
Nice.
he cannot go outside very much because he also get better.
And it makes her sad, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what you're saying is a form of missing autonomy. So she had something, she could move literally. So autonomy is physical and mentally. So she cannot move physically anymore, and it makes him sad. We as human beings, we need to have the sense of autonomy. We need to sense that we can do whatever we want when we want. And if that is taken from us, then we feel very neglected or we feel very sad, because that's in our core. And also mentally, because can you imagine that if you can walk anywhere you want, but your mind is saying, I cannot, there's also a sort of a prison you're in. So we as a human being, we have the desire, and we need to have the sense that we can steer our life in the direction that we want. That's the first thing. So I'm helping people with this. The second one, as a fundament for being happy, is, this internet is, you Eurodam. The second one is purpose. Purpose is a desire to create meaning and to contribute. You all are now part of this second one. Why? You are at school here and you choose to study and you chose a minor. Why? Because you want to be something in society, right? You don't want to be on the side of society. No, you want to be in society. You want to contribute. You want to do something. You have a purpose in your life. We as human beings, for example, if you look at other organisms or being, we need to have a purpose. If we do not have a purpose, if we wake up every morning and we think, well, sun is shining, I don't know what to do, I don't know who I am, I have no goals, then we get very sick and sad. So we need to have purpose. And it sounds very big. Purpose can also be something small. Helping my grandparents or getting my grades up so that I can become X in the future, in my career. Purposes can also change over a year, over a week, or overnight. I get my goal, so I'm going to get my new goal. Oh, I have my diploma, so I'm going to do my master. It can be a purpose, or on your purpose, or stick to your purpose. And the third one is mastery. Because can you imagine that if you feel that you can do whatever you want, you find what you really love, but you cannot do it. It's impossible for you to get there. Frustrating, right? So you need to get, like I said, desire to be good at something that's important for you. You need to get a master in what you become. Then you have a total sense of autonomy, right? Then you say, hey, this is who I am, and I can do it. That's then 100%. You find your purpose, and you master it. So I'm helping people in the program to get those three. This is the fundament. If it's professional or personal, this is the fundament to be happy in your career or in your personal life. So this is what I'm, like I said, what I'm telling people when I'm talking with them. It starts with purpose. Purpose was in the middle, and it's one of the most important. So my question for you, and like I said, this is a safe space, and maybe think about it for a few minutes. What do you really want? And you can think about it as personal development, but also as in your career or at school. Why did you choose for this study? Why for this minor? What are your goals? What are your goals for your future as a human being? Why are you here? And what do you want to become or do? And the funny part is, when I ask this to people, they always answer it with things that other people want. Well, I did this study because my parents said I should do this. Or my friends, they do it as well, so I did it. Yeah, I want to look good in my neighborhood, and I know when I do this study, I can buy myself with a great house in that neighborhood. So goals outside of yourself. So forget about everybody else. Today we can be very egocentric. Forget about everything. What do you really want? And if money wasn't an option, what do you really want? So think about it for a couple of minutes. Maybe discuss it with your neighbor on your left or your right side. What is it that you would want in your life, or at school, or in your minor, or after school in your minor? And maybe there are some. And don't make it too big, right? Don't think about I need to become the president of the United States. So it can be very small. What is it? What would you like in 5 years from now? How should your life look like?
I would prefer to have a stable life. I did another study, before the study, and I've seen that it was not the right study for me. It was business administration, and I really would like to continue my life doing the things I love, and make my hobby my work, and that's what I'm trying to do right now. And I think that's important for me to do, to have a happy life and being as comfortable as you can be.
Very nice. So you have a plan. This is great. This is a great start. This is something, keep that in mind, guys. If you want to get somewhere in life, you need to plan it. Doesn't sound strange, right? We do that with our profession, right? We choose a study. we choose some certain things to get there in life. The funny part is when things when we talk about personal stuff, we don't think about this. We don't question ourselves what we want, and we don't make a plan to get there. So this is a very awkward question. This is the first question almost all my big events and lectures. And this is the first question where people say, I don't know what I want. But to know where you want is to set a goal. It's like when I say to you, let's go to Paris. You first should know where Paris is, right? Then you should know where you are now, and then you can make a plan to get there. Then you can say, oh, it will take me 2 days, and I will go by train and by bus, and I'm there. But if you do not have this information, you're not thinking about where Paris is and where you are, you will never get to Paris. So most people, when I already told you, most people when I talk in lectures to people and as young professionals, I ask them, what is it you want? I don't know. But then they tell me, I'm stuck in life and I don't know where to go. And I said, but where do you want to go? Yeah, I don't know. But I don't want to be here, but I don't know where I want to go. Getting out of somewhere, you need to know where you want to go. And the funny thing is, there was now an answer. Is there someone else who said, I would like to share about my future goals?
I'd like a house.
You like a house? Great. So you're working here, studying, get probably a good job, and then a house, buy a house. So that's a great goal. Yeah, that's a great family goal. It's a great goal. The thing that I want to say is that maybe you have some ideas about your future goals in mind right now. Not ready to share it with the world, but now in mind. The funny thing is that we want the same. We all want the same. You know what we want? Guys, you're great. I can go home right now. We all want happiness. We want it in the form of a house, or a good job, or a better study, or a great partner, or a great job. But we all want it because we want to be happy. So if we want to be happy, we should know what happiness is, right? Because if we know what it is, then we can get it faster and we can get a great life. And that is, I think, the philosophy of life. To create the life that you want so that you can be happy in the years that you're on Earth, here on this planet. So I'm going to talk about happiness. And like I said, happiness is more a choice than that's something that comes over you. And one of the things to be happy is to be accountable. So that's why I created accountability. And the IP accountability model I'm going to show you in just a few seconds, or actually I think more than a few seconds. Let's say a lot of minutes. But first of all, it's about accountability. Does anybody know what accountability is? Pretty close, yeah. Yeah. There is a difference between responsible and accountable.
Predictable,
maybe? It's not quite predictable. It's a very strange word. We do not have a word for it in Dutch. In Dutch, we just say all the time, verantwoordelijk, of responsible. Verantwoordelijk is responsible and accountability at the same time. I was looking for it and I think this is maybe the word that is closest to rekenbaar. So accountability, this is accountability. Feel the obligation or willingness to accept one responsibility, exactly, and or expect accountability for his or her actions. So it's both. It's the actions and the responsible. Somebody gives you a task and you need to have responsibility and accountability. So for example, the ministers are accountable for properly directing the parliament. And I created this picture on the side to show you the difference between responsible and accountable. Those guys were responsible for this side of the boat, right? So those guys said, that's not my problem. I'm not responsible for this side of the boat. But accountable means that you feel that everything coming out of what you should have done or do is up to you. You can steer it whenever you want. You are not only responsible for the small part, but for the total package. So if they felt any accountability, they would help their fellow men to get the boat in order to get there. So responsible is saying, this is my domain, I'm going to do whatever I need to do and then put it aside. Accountable means that everything that happens is something you could have done about it. So it's more about the actions, like you said, than just saying this small task. And in life, that's how I view it, accountability is about taking control of your life all the time, for all the actions and for everything you want. And to be, toerekenbaar for everything you do in life. So if you are somewhere in life and you don't want to be there, you should do something about it. You need to be accountable for your life and your actions. You cannot say to someone, hey, my life is not in order, or my job is not in order, or my study is not in order. You are accountable for it. And this is very hard, right? Because who knows this? We say to each other, to ourselves on Sunday, okay, this week, I'm going to the gym. And then it's Monday evening, you're getting home, you're sitting on the couch, I say, okay, well, let's go Tuesday, right? Or who knows this? I need to lose some weight. I'm going to stop eating cake from Monday. And then Monday a colleague or a friend comes to you with a big cake and you say, okay, let's start Tuesday. So who knows this sense, this feeling? A lot, right? I have to too. Not because I'm a coach and I know this, that do not affect me. I have this too. Do you have any idea why that is? Why do we make promises to ourselves and when we need to do it, so like we said in Holland, een puntje bij een paaltje komt, we're not doing it. Because we are lazy. Sorry? No self-control? Temptation? Yeah, so no self-control, lazy, temptation. Procrastinating, maybe, yeah. It has a lot to do with what you are saying, and it's really helpful if you have it, if you're not lazy, if you can be disciplined. But it has to do a lot with emotions. Think about it. You're coming home after a long day of study. You're going on the couch, and you're, I'm done for the day. And you say to yourself, I need to go to the gym. But I don't feel to go to the gym. You know what? Let's go tomorrow. I'm tired. What's that? It's emotion. It was an emotion that triggered something within us and that said, I'm not going or I'm going. Right? So emotions control our life constantly. Emotions tell us what to do or not because it's our rationale that says, hey, we're going to do something, and it's our emotion that says, no, we're not. And then you notice this little voice in your head, but yeah, I said we're going to do it. Yeah, but I don't want to today. Okay, let's stay on the couch. It was your emotion talking to the other part of your brain, and then most of the time, your emotions win, right? And then you stay home. So knowing more about emotions and tuning into your emotions can help you to overcome it, to still stay accountable, instead of letting your emotions control what you do on a daily basis. So I'm going to talk with you today about emotions. And emotions are, is this what I'm? Yeah. And emotions are very funny. Emotions are things from the past. Think about it. For example, this is a great example. This is an example that I used at the high school. And I told the kids, you have saved a lot of money for an expensive pants, a great pants. And you went with your mother in the weekend to buy this pants. And you're going to school very proud, right? An emotion. very proud. I think, yeah, great, I'm going to show everybody off this great pants. But walking to school, there is an enormous truck. And it just drives by very close, just in a puddle of mud, and your pants is immediately done. It's all wet and dirty. What does it do? It changes your emotion, right? So from very happy and proud, saying, I'm going to tell everybody about my pants, your emotions suddenly changed, and now you're very sad, and you don't want to show your face at school because everybody's going to laugh, and you're certainly going to tell somebody about your pants, right? So there's changed something in your environment, and that your outcome of the things that you are going to do is changed now. So your emotion changed what you were planning to do. And your emotions are always things from the past. So something happened in the past, and in the future you're going to do something different. If you understand that, it means that your brain is always living in the past, because it experienced something in the past, and now your computer, your brain says, okay, now we need to do something different in the future. So let's talk more about the emotions, and about what I call the structure of results. And this is the part where coaches all over the world help people with. This is the thing. So there is an external factor, right? So this external factor was this truck that came by, right? And it made your pants very dirty. And what did it? It changed your emotion, right? And after it changed your emotion, you changed your choices or your choice to do something at school. So your choice was first, I'm going to show my pants to everybody. And now the choice you are making is, I'm not going to show my face on my pants. So it changed something for you. So in your mind, you made a choice, and now you act differently. So you get a different result, right? Other, more mature, and one of my coaches said, Bwerani, you cannot say this is racist. But I said, but this is a good example, and it's not racist. Let's say you have learned that when you were a kid, that all people from an African descent are stupid and dangerous, right? And you learned that from your parents and in your surroundings. And now you're going to, let's say, Amsterdam. And you're a girl and you're with your friends, you're going to party. So you dressed up very nice, you got a great skirt on, and you got something nice on. Oh, that's Siri. Sorry, Siri. Okay. And you have your great outfit. You parked your car, and you need to go to a dark, small alley. So you're alone there, and you're walking into a dark, small alley. And now, suddenly, you see someone from an African descent walking towards you in this alley. What happens? You're going from happy, I'm going with my friends to drink in Amsterdam, to, uh-oh, danger. So what happens? You made a choice. You don't have to be aware of your choice. Choices are, most of the time, I'm going to talk with you about that, unaware. So what do? You're probably going to be very frightened, right? So you probably have your purse, and you put your purse towards you. And your body also, your physical body, changes because of your emotions. You have new hormones now in your body. So your heart will pump, because of the adrenaline. And you will be very, very anxious now, right? So your breathing will be very high on your chest, not in your belly. And the other one, that's walking, so that's the choice you made, and that's the way you act. So the other one that is walking towards you sees that, and he looks at you. And you know what the other one thinks? That's a racist again. And he says, what do you want? And you will say and that's the result, so you get an angry one in this alley, and you will probably say to yourself, you see, my father was right. All people from African descent are dangerous. And you walk again to the place where you have an appointment with your friends. Do you see how this emotion changes your choices, changes how you act, changes the result, what happened in the alley? And this is always in our lives. Emotions are at the beginning of what we do in our life and what we attract or not attract in our lives. So by knowing more about emotions and how to work with emotions, we have more control about our choices, or we can make conscious choices about what is happening to us, so that we can consciously choose how to act, so that we get the results that we want. And most people are stuck in this. We are stuck in our emotions. The funny thing is, and we do also say it in English, but also say it in Dutch, we say, I am mad, or I am sad. But you aren't mad, or you aren't sad. You are a human being. And as a human being, you feel sad, or you feel mad. And this is a whole different perspective. Because if you say you feel mad, it says something about the state you're in. It says something about what you are feeling, and you can do something about it. Because then you're examining your emotions, and then you're saying, hey, I feel sad. Why is that? Oh, it's because of this. I don't want to feel sad, and I want to don't affect my choices, so I'm going to make another choice. But if you are in your emotion, it gives you no option to change or to oversee or to have insight in what you should do. So you let your emotion decide what you are doing. Like I said, emotions control your life. And what I do with my company is helping people to see this cycle so that they can break it open. And this is the part where we help, personal development. Because if you can have control and more knowledge about your emotions, you have more control over your choices. So today I'm going to talk more about those things. Because emotions are also the one that is steering, but emotions become patterns. And I'm writing a book at this moment, and the name of the book is called Jij bent ook een patroon, or You are also a pattern. Because we, as we sit here, we're all patterns. We're all patterns, and we're just highly effective biological machines. That's what we are. And I'm going to show you why. This is what a habit is. A habit, or our habits, are a group of automatic and often unconscious thoughts, behaviors, emotions that arise after repetition. Ever thought about this? Question for you. Who knows what he ate last, let's say, Thursday? What did you eat? Do you know what is it you've ate? Strange, right? Because it's not that long ago. And you're very smart, I guess, right? You're students at the school, so how is it possible that you don't know what you ate a few days ago?
Actually, I know because I was working that day, so I'm thinking about work, and I was at work, so I know what I have to eat.
Great, great. You know why that is? There is an emotion attached to it. So the funny thing, this is a little small fact. We probably know where we were when Michael Jackson died, or when the Twin Towers fell, but we don't know what we ate last Thursday. Because on the other two events, there was high emotion, so our brain is wired to that, and what you ate last Thursday has not any emotion with it. So your brain says, I don't need to know that, and throws it away, right? But also this, and this is what I'm going to as a pattern. Do you know at what time today you brushed your teeth?
Yes.
Exactly the time, yeah? So not like when your alarm clock went, but really when you stood in front of the mirror. Do you know what time it was? Exactly. Okay. Yeah, you watched at your.
Yeah, brush your teeth alarm.
Brush it up.
Yeah, just I have like a constant rhythm when I wake up.
Yeah.
First eating, then brushing it. I think it's always like 7:30. Between
Great.
7:30 and 7:35.
Wow. You see? Pattern. I always stand up on a certain time, and then I'm eating, and then a pattern, right? So that's why he knows. You guys probably do not know because it's not a conscious pattern that you have. For example, if I ask you now, how long did you brush your teeth? Was it 1 minute, 1 minute and a half, 2 minutes? You probably don't know the answer. I don't know the answer as well. Because it's an...
You know.
You know, yeah?
There's a timer.
Oh, you have a timer, all right. Those things are, you don't know those things, or most of us do not know those things, because we're doing them unconsciously. There are patterns and they work for us, so we are not aware of it. And that has a few reasons why. Because we are very nice, created, beautiful biological machines. The first, probably this, yeah. The first of all is that we are the most advanced autopilot the universe has ever seen. You know how many thoughts we have per day? Just a guess, Millions. 50,000? 10,000? Pretty close. Women have more thoughts than men. And it's like this. We have 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts per day. So in the first hour that you're up, you have thousands of thoughts running through your head. Some, and most of them unconsciously, but the small part is conscious. And 95 of them are repetitive. So they are thoughts that you thought of yesterday, the week before, the month before. And 80% is negative. So we tend to keep ourselves in a sort of negative loop all the time. Oh, we should do that. Oh, I should have done this. Oh, 80% of the time. It's a research in 2005. And there is a reason why this is, why we have 95% of them on a repetitive thought, so in an autopilot. We're just a sort of computer game, running over and over and over again. And there are two reasons for that. The first one is energy saving. Our brain takes more than 80% of the energy we take in every day. It's a very, very wired machine that needs a lot of energy. So what your brain does is saying, hey, this pattern, this loop, let's say eating and then brushing your teeth at the same time, hey, that works for me. Let's set it on autopilot, then it doesn't cost me any energy. And it goes whoop, and you're autopilot. Because if you were aware from all the thoughts and all the choices, you go mad. You stand up in the morning, you go to your mirror when you brush your teeth, you say, okay, I need this brand, it needs to be like a centimeter, we need so much water, we need 2.5 minutes, okay, my right teeth, 10 more seconds. You would go crazy. So you have a lot of stimuli, and what your brain does is say, okay, we don't need all those stimuli, we just need to do this task. So that you're not in a sort of overdrive, right? Like a burning computer or a burning chip. So it's a lot about energy saving. So it's like your brain is looking for a program that works for you, and if he finds it, he says, okay, put it on autopilot. And your brain can only see if it works for you in the short term, not on long term. So for example, we're going to do some examples later. I'm going to show you. And the other one is safety. Safety is the one thing that your brain wants to do is to keep you happy and keep you alive. So your brain says, and that's this part of your brain, it says, does it keeps me happy and safe? Yeah, okay, that works for me. Boom, let's do it. Let's do it again. So let's say you have an exam tomorrow, but tonight your friends say, hey, let's go out, let's party. And there's a sort of internal conflict, right? So this part of your brain says, this works for me because I'm going to be happy then. And your brain says, yeah, my host needs to be happy. So it feels good. And your brain says, let's do it. And we will see how we deal with it tomorrow. So your brain wants to keep you alive. And this is the question your brain constantly asks. If what I'm going to do, does that make me happy? Or does it keep me safe? Or did it keep me safe yesterday? Yes? Okay, let's do it again tomorrow. Easy. Does it work for me? Yeah, autopilot. Or next task. And that's why your brain is working in this way. To keep you alive, but not to take a lot of energy. But this is holding you down because this is creating you in an autopilot, but I just show you the structure of result that you need to be aware to make choices that help you and get the result you want. So your brain is wired to be on autopilot, but you cannot be on autopilot to create your life. This is the conflict. And that's why most people are not happy. And like I said, I'm working on a book, and this book is called Jij bent ook een patroon. You're also a pattern. And everything and every aspect of your life is a pattern. Sounds really strange. I know it sounds like the Matrix, but it's so. So I made a pyramid. It's the pyramid that I designed to show you that you are a pattern. Excited? Those are our patterns. The first pattern is our genetic factors. The fact that I have a different color than he, that my hair is different than his hair, is because I have a pattern, right? And I get it from my parents, and they're from their parents, and so forth and so forth. I cannot do anything about it. He cannot get my color, and I cannot get his color. It's just the way it is, right? Then we have educational factors. And educational factors is more of educational factors in the sense of your parents. So your parents have kinds of beliefs and kinds of fears, and they will project them onto you. So you probably are doing the things that your parents are doing, or thinking from the perspective that your parents are doing, or your surrounding, or the people who raised you. That's another factor that there is, another pattern. And then you have cultural patterns, also very hard. You know, at King's Day, we're all dressed in orange. Why? If I ask to someone why everybody is doing it. Why? As a pattern. Yeah, let's go. Right? But we have no idea why. There is a reason, but most of the people do not know why. It's just the way it is, right? That is very common. Why do you do it? Yeah, we always do it like this. Somebody is just saying, it's my pattern. Christmas, the same. Christmas is a biblical holiday, right? But most people aren't Christians anymore. So if I ask to someone, what's Christmas? I don't know. I'm going to celebrate and eating with my family. Why? Why on that day? I have no idea. Everybody's doing it around the world, so I thought, let's do it again. Let's do it also. It's a pattern. You don't have any. So we're constantly on automatic pilot. In environmental factors. Environmental factors are, for example, where we live and how we use nature and how we work with it. Also, that is a part of our upbringing. So in this part of the world, we are getting more and more vegan, right? We need to be more animal friendly. But the other sides of the world, they do not care how they eat animals and how they kill animals. So the environment shows us and tells us what is normal or what are the norms or not. And we say, okay, great, it works for the others, it will work for me. And we go in this stream. Or our language. Our language says a lot about how we perceive things. There is a native group, a native Indian group, that did a study in the Amazon. And they do not know the color blue. Never talked about the color blue. So if I would show them this, they have no name for the color. Strange, right? They cannot see the color because it's not in their brain. Nobody talked about this color. They've never seen this color. Blue is not a color that is like this, very dark, that's easily spotted in nature. So they do not have a color. They cannot see it. They will call it some, I don't know, some greenish. They have no name for it. Subcultural factors are things like church or your football club or other small groups or your friends that will tell you what can be done or not, or what's okay or not okay. And you have your daily patterns. Great example. I have an alarm clock. I wake up at a certain time, then I'm going to eat, then I'm going to do brush my teeth. And those are the difference. So on those three, you have a very big impact. Today you can choose to do something different that will bring you closer to your goal, right? Or you can say, I'm not hanging out with this group of friends again because they're putting me down, so I'm going to stop. Or I'm going to get a new home on a different location in Holland, or maybe even outside Holland, so that I can change the way I see things, perceive things, or do things. Those things are very hard to change, but you can be reflective of them. So you can be aware and say, okay, I cannot change it, but I know where it's coming from, so I can deal with it in a certain way. I'm aware of that I cannot change it, but I can do something with my mindset to overcome that. So the three on the bottom is you have great personal influence, and above you have little personal influence, but you can be more reflective. And this, we all have a set of patterns in them. And that in total makes us who we are, our identity. And this group we call our comfort zone. So those things that we have in here, that's our comfort zone. That makes us feel, okay, we feel nice. If we have this, we feel nice. But, like I said, as soon as we change the group of patterns, we're coming in the learning zone. So let's, for example, the comfort zone of a baby is to crawl. And suddenly, he's going to stand up and say, hey, I can walk on 2 feet. And he starts walking, and he says, hey, this is a new way of getting myself forward, right? And then he gets out of his comfort zone, and he's now in the learning zone, because he learns how to use his legs, and suddenly he can run around, and he can go on a bike, and et cetera, et cetera. And that's for us as well. If we want to grow, if we want to evolve, we need to be aware of our patterns. So that's again the structure result. And from there, we can get in the learning zone. So today, we're going to get more into habits and patterns, because if we know more about habits and patterns and how they work, we can overcome them, or we can even hack them. Great word, right, for somebody who is in this minor. So I will show you a pattern sequence. This is also about emotion. But let's take a 5-minute break. So I will show you more about how a sequence in patterns work and how you can break into it or hack it to get the things done that you would really like. Pick it up where we left off, because I have some great practical information for you how to hack your brain and get your things done and your goals done. But first I'm going to show you how a pattern sequence works. Like I said, everything is a pattern, right? So every pattern starts with a trigger in your brain. Something happens, right? Like I said, there's an external factor. Okay, first external factor. You see a cake. Wow. All right. The behavior is you buy and eat the cake. You think, all right. What happens then? Satisfaction. This is the one thing that you should know. This is the secret. Everything you do in life is because it has some sort of satisfaction. Like I said, do you know the other slide with safety and energy saving? Safety. What was safety and energy saving? Yeah. And I said it's also that your brain wants to stay happy. It wants to make you happy and wants to keep you alive. Happy. So you eat the cake, and what happens? Big smile. So your brain says, hey, my host is happy. So it releases dopamine. I told them already, emotions are just chemicals in your body. If you say it's very simple. So you get happy, and your brain says, oh, great, he's happy, and releases dopamine, which makes you even more happy. And then you're walking in the hallway, or you're whistling, and then your brain says, hey, we need to store this context because it makes my host happy. So every time we see a cake, We need to eat it, then I can release dopamine, and then we're going to restore it. This is how a trigger works. So can you imagine that if you want to go to the gym or when you want to quit cake, but your brain stored that it's great to eat cake, that you're fighting your brain. Because your brain says, we need cake. And you say, no, we don't. Another thing. This is, yeah.
Yeah, why does the brain then, you said the person thinks like, oh, I should have done it.
Yeah.
Why doesn't the brain store the information, this feeling of, oh, I should have done it? Why?
Very good question. Yeah, why does your brain does it?
Satisfaction, like your receptor satisfaction.
Yeah. So because your brain can only perceive the now. So your brain sees that it makes you happy now. Going to the gym doesn't make you happy necessarily now. It will make you happy in the future, right? So you want to go to the, let's say in the summer, you want to have a great body. And you want to have a great body and show off on the beach. That's something that you can imagine in the future, but your brain not. So you're finding your brain moment, now, and the future.
Yeah, but with exercising and gym, I would say that it gives you that satisfaction on the molecular level, as well as like dopamine is releasing and other hormones.
True.
Like, satisfaction. Why doesn't we store that information?
True, very good question. Because it takes a while. So the first time you're going to the gym, it doesn't help you to release dopamine, right? So it probably you're going to the gym and you say, I don't want to, but I have to because I need to lose 5 pounds. So I need to go, but I don't want to go. So it doesn't help you get to release the dopamine right away. This is instantly dopamine. Within a minute, your brain says, he's happy. Let's release the dopamine. So it's very hard for your brain to understand that when you're at the gym and you're gymming and you do it for a few times and you feel, hey, and you look in the mirror and say, it's working. I feel more energy. I see my body change. Then the dopamine release will come and then it stays a pattern, right? You already know this. If you're going to the gym longer than a month, then it becomes much easier to go to the gym. But the first time, or the first 2 or 3 times, it's very hard. You need to push yourself. Because it's not wired in your brain as good. It's probably wired in your brain as bad. Because you have, there is an association in your brain with going to the gym is hard, is not fun, is not nice. And this is nice. This is instantly nice. So this is you're fighting your brain because your brain wants you to be happy now, not in a week or a month or at the summer. So that's why you're fighting your brain. And this is very funny. We're all intelligent beings here, right? Who does this? I do it. Not all the time, but I do it. It's late at night, you're watching TV, and suddenly you feel hungry. And you say, what do I have in the house to eat? I say, I don't know. So you're walking to your fridge. Who does that? Opening the fridge, you're there for 1 or 2 minutes, you're looking, and there's nothing. Close the fridge, sit down, and 10 minutes later, you're going back to the gym, to the fridge, open it up, and saying if there really is not something there. Who knows that? Strange, right? Because we're intelligent beings, right? We know there's nothing in the fridge. Why are we doing it? Your brain knows there is food in this particular thing. So it tells you, unaware, go back, there needs to be food. And you're going back. But your intelligent side knows there is nothing, but your emotional side, that you're unaware of, doesn't know it. So it pulls you back to the fridge. Strange beings are, yeah? So I will show you some other patterns. So this, what we have, is also working for unhealthy habits. And I'm going to show you how it works with unhealthy habits. That's more to do with an emotional state. So let's say your emotional state is, I don't feel happy. So you're not happy, you're sad. Or your emotional state is, I feel lonely. I want to be part of the group, so you feel left out. I want to be cool. I just want a moment of rest. You're stressed. Okay, then also, that's also a trigger. Let's say you don't feel happy, so I'm going to eat something delicious. Because your brain has stored that eating something delicious will make you happy. So if you're unhappy, your brain says, oh no, my host is not happy. We need to make my host happy. Okay, what makes him happy? Oh, eating something delicious. Okay, we need to go to the fridge. So you're going to eat something delicious. Uh-oh, the Eurodam is, yeah. Or you can say, I feel lonely, or I want to be part of the group, right? Most people who start smoking do not smoke because they say, this is the most great thing that I've ever done in my life. No, it's probably why you do, yeah, the other friends on school did it as well, so I want to be cool. So you smoke a cigarette. What happens? Now, suddenly, you belong to the group, which makes you feel cool, right? So it releases dopamine, maybe testosterone or serotonin, and you feel happy. Or you eat something delicious, like I said, and it releases dopamine. And suddenly, you feel good about yourself. And your brain restores the context and says, okay, we should smoke again, or we should eat again. And so, this is the way unhealthy habits also are part of our pattern. And if we know the triggers, we can change the behavior. So I will show you some examples how to break in or hack on those triggers so that the behavior will be different. Because patterns are the fundament of getting changes in your life or getting your goals done. So there are 5 triggers, 5 great triggers that you can hack immediately, starting today. First is your location. For example, you do not smoke, but when you're out with friends in a club and somebody says, hey, you want a cigarette? You say, all right, let's do it. So the location is a trigger. It changed what you normally do not smoke, but now you're in a certain location and now you smoke. Time. I say always, 4 uur kuppensoep. For people who don't speak Dutch, 4 o'clock kuppensoep. It's a brand, and they initiated the 4 o'clock kuppensoep. So as you work, you can get some soup at 4 o'clock. So there are some time triggers as well. A time trigger is in the morning, your alarm clock goes, and then you have your pattern, right? It starts. So time is also something that you can break into, or when something starts. An emotional state. I just showed you some examples of an emotional state. Sorry, ladies, but in your cycle, what are you probably normally or often do? Eat chocolate or ice cream. So your emotional state changes, and then suddenly we need ice cream and chocolate. Actions from others. This for example, also with the cigarette, right? So you do not smoke, but now everybody is smoking. You say, okay, I'm going to smoke as well. And last but not least, a follow-up. So it means there was something happened, and you did something, and now you say, okay, let's do the other thing as well. So it is a pattern running into a pattern. So let's talk about how we can change those. Now we know that there are 5 triggers that will trigger a pattern that starts a sequence in our brain and let us do things that we normally do not like or want. First off, it's starting with awareness. So now you know the 5 triggers. Now you can be aware. You can ask yourself, okay, when did it start? Okay, it started when every time I'm in this location, I'm doing that. I shouldn't go to this location again, or should be more aware when I'm entering this location. Every day at 3 o'clock, I'm doing this, and I don't want to do it. Okay, I mean to be aware at 3 o'clock, or something like that. Awareness is the first thing. You have some things that you can change in your pattern. And we just discussed it. One of you came to me and said, it's very hard to change the pattern. And it is, because it's hardwired in your brain. So the first of is replacement. So let's say you want to drink more water. And every time in the morning, you should drink some more water in the morning. What you can do is, instead of drinking this cup of coffee in the morning, you can drink a glass of water in the morning. It's very easy for your brain, because there is already a neurological path. The only thing you do is put something else in the cup, change it, and just drink it. The habits to drink in the morning is already there.
Actually, I do like, if I have a cup of coffee, I also drink a glass of water. And also like, if I'm drinking beer or wine or something, I also have a glass of water next.
Great. This is one of the things that I will share with you. This is a great example. Yeah, yeah. Second is the habit on habit technique. So the habit on habit technique is there is a pattern already. There is a habit, and you can put another habit on it. So that's, for example, what you said. So you're drinking a coffee, and next to the coffee is some water. It's very easy for your brain. There is already a pattern. It's like a puzzle, a piece of the puzzle, right? So you're just attaching another piece to that puzzle. It's very easy. You don't have to create a new pattern, just click them together. You can have an accountability buddy system, and I'm going to tell you more about it in Meester Je Leven. But accountability buddy system is that there's something helping you to be accountable. Okay, I'm going to do this week. Hey, can you help me? And call me at the end of the week if I did do it. And if I did, this is the great one, I can reward myself. I'm going to give you a reward, and if I did it, give it back to me. And then you create a reward system for yourself. Every time you do something, you can say, I did it. And you get the reward. The fourth is the Plan B principle. And the Plan B principle is that normally when we promise ourselves something, we do not finish it. So let's say, for example, I'm going to go to the gym, and you come home, and you have a long and a hard day, and you say, I'm not going. And then you're not doing any exercise at all, right? So from everything, you're doing nothing. But you can create a plan B. If I'm not going to the gym, then at least I'm going to run a block around my building or something. Then you can do something. So if it's not possible to do everything, don't do nothing. Just do it for half, or do something that is that looks like what you were planning for yourself. And that helps you to create a new pattern. You can also create just a new pattern, but it's very hard. It's very hard to just say, okay, let's from starting today, I'm going to do every Monday, I'm going to do this. It's very, very hard to fight your brain directly in this way. So those are some techniques that can help you to break into your pattern. So one of the questions that for now, but maybe at the end, if you want to talk with me or discuss, is what do I really want? If you want it, you can, with the information that you had today, you can hack it, break in. You know that your emotion is involved and patterns are involved, getting your things done and knowing what you really, really want. And it's a very hard question. It's still a hard question, right? So I have some, and hopefully you can give it around the classroom. This is what I do with a lot of events. It's the 3 most important questions. This is what I do every single year, just for myself. I ask myself 3 things. And it helps me to know what I really want to do and what I really want to accomplish this year. So I ask myself, what do I want to experience this year? So thinking of your study right now, your minor, what is it you want to experience? And experience are not things you can buy, right? Experience are things that you want to have seen or done, or a memory that is going to be created, or starting something. It's something that will last in your brain, something that you can look back to in a few years and smile about it, an experience. Thanks. So what do you want to experience? The second is, how do you want to grow? Growth is for us people so important. If we do not grow, we get very sad. We need to have a purpose, like I said, and we need to master it. So we need to work on something. If we're not working on something, we feel useless. So how do we want to grow? And that can be everything, from a new language, a new skill, or how to even to control your emotions. What is it you want? What you want to grow into? Just for yourself. And the last one is contribution. It's one that's overlooked. We as human beings we love it when we can contribute and give back. So what do you have learned and you can give back to your brothers or sisters, to your family, to your neighborhood, to other students? What can you give them? Believe me, it will make you happy. It will release a lot of dopamine. And on the last, but not least, on the other side is destination. So if you would make a sentence from those three things, what? Oh, it's it's not that. Yeah, it's on the bottom. It's on the bottom. Yeah, it's on the bottom. It's on the bottom. It's on the bottom. Yeah, it is. It is. So if you would put it in one sentence, what is your destination for this year, or your theme for this year? Like I said when we started, if you do not have a plan with your life, no destination, you can never reach it, right? So that's why I'm thinking about this every year. What do I want to experience? How do I want to grow? And how am I going to contribute? And if it's hard, think about it in certain areas. How do you want to experience growth or contribute in family, in your love life, in your professional life, in your personal life, in your financial life, or your career, your business? By filling this in, starting now or maybe the coming weeks, because your coach is going to ask you something about this thing, will help you to determine how you're going to set goals, what do you want, and getting there. Because you actively taking the time to think about your own life, reflect on it, make some changes or adjustments, and go. And I have something else for you guys as well. This is something that your coaches are going to discuss with you as well, so I'm going to give it to you. This is what I call, oh sorry, it's my bathroom. This is what I call the code of commitment. So when we start with coaching, we have the code of commitment. What commitment, and that's also this self-discipline, what you said, right? What commitment do you make with yourself? The funny part is that if you make commitment with other people, we always want to stick to the commitment with other people, right? So we make an appointment and say, okay, shit, we need to do this for that, we need to do this for him, we need to do this for her, we need to do this for this institute, we need to do this for your study. But when we make appointments with ourselves, we say, next week, next year, next month. Very strange, right? So the first thing I do when I coach people one-on-one is say, you need to fill in your own code of commitment, because you need to know that you need to be responsible but also accountable for your own actions and for your own outcome. So you need to be committed to yourself, because if you're not committed to yourself, nobody will in this world. So I have sort of laws, the 10 commitment laws. I don't feel like Moses now. And I'm just going to read them out loud. First of all is, I will take fully responsibility for my happiness and success. Be aware of that. You have the responsibility to make this a great study, a great minor, and a great life. Nobody will do it for you. I will consciously choose to go for what I think, what's important in my life. So you make this consciously choice. Like I showed you how you can be more conscious of making choices to get what you want in life. Even though it's not easy, I will make a small step. This is the plan B, right? For example, what I showed you. They don't have to be big. Small is also okay. If I broaden my comfort zone and try new things, I will reach my goal. I just showed you this, the thing between comfort zone and learning zone, right? With the right mindset and the right strategy, I told you a little bit already today about mindset, but also about strategies. Now you have a coach, now you can plan. Your goals can become reality. I will enjoy the process and do not pressure or stress myself. This is what a lot of people do. They do not get their goals done and they're going to get stressed and they're going to I need to do harder. It doesn't work that way. Your brain doesn't work in that order. Change my habit means attracting and trying new things in life. If you want new outcomes and different outcomes in life, it's normal that you should try new things, right? And the more I invest in myself and my goals, the sooner I will achieve them. Sounds very logic. I'm open and honest and loving to myself and others, and I promise to be faithful to myself and my goals. So this is something that I wrote, and that you can sign. You don't have to give it back. It's just that you are aware of this is your own code of commitment, and what commitment do you make with yourself? So there's room for your own goal to write down, and even to sign it, like it's like you signed your contract with yourself. I'm going to promise myself this, and sign it. So this is what I do with the clients, and it's helping because it's getting people from unconscious goals and saying, oh yeah, when I have time I'm going to do it, to, okay, I'm actively and consciously choosing to do the things that will help me to get further in life. I think next time I'm going to talk about this and this. The last thing I want to show you is meester je leven, to end this. This is the IP method. This is the method that I created for you to use and for the environment that you're in. It's a 30-minute accountability call with your coach, and it's really your coach has the guidelines and will help you to get your things done. It's very interesting and important to already think about what you want to accomplish. It's up to you. If you say, I want to be a barber, say, okay, said the coach, I'm going to help you to be a barber. Everything is okay. But you have to think about, what is it that I really want? How can this coach help me to get where I want to go? When you log in, I'm going to show you an online content library with videos, with blogs, with challenges, with ebooks, with meditation, with everything that can help you to get further. There's an online community so that you can chat. You can chat with coaches, or you can chat with like-minded people. And that's everything. So also ebooks are one of them. And the USP is that we have a 30-minute structure, almost like the Pomodoro technique. I don't know if you know this, but there was a professor, and he created the Pomodoro technique. He says your brain can focus only for, let's say, 20 to 30 minutes. So you should stop every 20 or 30 minutes with what you're doing, do something totally different, and then go back. You're far more focused and effective than just doing everything the whole day. So that's why it's 30 minutes and not longer than that. It's double T. It's structure. There's more structure because in this 30 minutes we have to have a structure for you. And that's the IP method to get you there and get your goals done and help you with mindset and these goals. It's efficient, and the program is created to make you more aware of your patterns and your emotions and finding out your winning strategy and your sabotage techniques. We all have sabotage or coping mechanisms that are stopping us. So you have more reflection and a lot of practice, so to change your patterns to the things that you need in your life to create healthy habits. So we're going to help you with that, and you will create, we hope, more awareness, more acceptance of who you are and what you want, more action so that you get what you want, and somebody who can help you learn what accountability is and helps you to be more accountable. So we'll help you with analyzing what you're doing, reflecting. We give you insights in your behavior in a call. We make a planning, and the planning is up to you because you decide what you want in your life. And we help you with inspiration. Do things outside of your comfort zone because you get in the learning zone, and you will get a lot further, and you will broaden your horizon and hopefully have a lot that we can help you with and learn. And those are the coaches that can help you. So I'm so one of the coaches that I'm going to take some of the some of the students. I will tell you a little bit quick about the coaches. This is Pascal. Pascal is NLP, just like me, so neuro-linguistic programming, knows everything about the brain and how it works. He's what they call a master, so you have different categories, and he's an NLP master. This is Kevin. Kevin is a motivational speaker. Kevin knows a lot about accountability and how to change habits. She is a children's coach. She helps children overcome their labels that they get. So, for example, you have HD, yeah, ADHD. Yeah, except thinking in English, man. And she's helping to see the children beyond their labels. And now she's helping also grown-ups with overcoming their patterns and their labels so that they can be more than just their labels. This is David. He's a career and business coach. If you have any questions about your career and business, this is David. Katrina, the same, career and business. And this is me. I'm the NLP also, so about your brain, about your habits. So you can choose from one of these coaches. And I have here the list with all your names. So you can, if you already see someone and you want a coach, just write it down here, and I will attach the coach to you. So when you log in, the coach is there for you to make an appointment. And then my last slide is, are there any questions?
Is the coach on a weekly base or?
On a bi-weekly base. So the first month you will talk with your coach 3 times, and after the first month, bi-weekly.
What I was supposed to fill in at the
Get contribution. Contribution is about what you want to give back to the world, to yourself, to your environment. What have you learned or gained that you want to give back to the world? If there are no questions, oh, one question. Yes, sorry. Yeah.
Will the presentation be on Slack or uploaded to Slack?
It's a possibility. It's filmed now, so we're going to put this in the library, so you can see the whole the lecture. So that's a thing, and yeah, it can also be in Slack if you would like to have it in Slack. Yeah. So my question for you guys is: there are some guest lectures coming, and my question to you is: what do you want to know about personal development, or about your brain, or about setting goals? Is there something that you would like to know or learn?
Maybe some practical examples about how you yourself manage the theory you just explained.
All right. Yeah. I'm going to write it down because I'm going to forget this. I'm going to. Those are mine. So, personal examples: how I overcome. Yeah.
So you first of all, how to set the right goals.
How to set goals. I can teach you a lot about how to set goals. Are there any more?
How to keep yourself on the right track while you're setting goals.
So how to keep you.
So you can set goals, but you should apply the goals. How to commit to the goals.
Yeah. And commit. Yeah. I wrote a great thing already. Yeah, I wrote it down. Yes. Are there any more? Any other questions? And if so, let it know to the teachers here. They will probably bring it to me, and I will create a lecture for you that is, answering the questions that you like, because it's I'm here for you. So this was an introduction about what personal development is and emotions and how this is wired in your brain and why things work for you or work not. And now I want to have something more for you guys. Now we have this, the basics. Has anybody seen the platform already? No. Now I'm going to log in for probably. Oh, of course I have. There is a video. I made a video. I don't know if it's shared, so one of my colleagues will send it to you how to log in. I would say to you, check our social media, check our website, see what we have done already. But this is the website. You can also see, by the way, this is very interesting for you guys. If you do not know what coach you would like, please let me know within a week so I can get the coaches. And the coaches that are already on the slide are already here. And you can read more about the coaches. So to see if they're really the coach that you are looking for. Sort of some information. Some have a video, some have just photos or a text. But they will tell you more about who they are and what they can do for you.
Is it just in Dutch or is it also in English?
It's in Dutch, yeah.
The Dutch students have to help this.
Yeah, great. Great goal setting for the Dutch student to help out with the international. And it's exactly, yeah. And I don't know, have it here. Very interesting. Oh. So you log into, of course, logging in. That is the easy part, I think. So I will show you a dummy account very quick so that you have known. So this changes to become a member to account. You just open, you click on it, drop down, and you go to dashboard. Once you're in a dashboard, this is what it will look like. This is Ben, he's one of the web developers. On the other side, he has, like you see, it's a problem child. He needs 3 coaches. And he has an abonnement or a subscription. It's Meester Je Leven. You will have this subscription as well. And he has 2 appointments and 3 left. So those are the 3. So this is what it's going to look like when you log in. So if you made an appointment, you can start a session at the right time. So this is already over, of course. And you can make a new appointment. So that's why I need to know which coach you want so that you can make a new appointment. Because you only have the coaches that are assigned to you. So we have a lot of coaches, but this one has 3.
One coach for yourself, because I see some different subjects, so you can make an appointment with different coaches or not?
That is possible, but all the coaches have the same skill set, but they have maybe a different perspective, but they have the same skill set, so they can always help you. So for example, this is Marielle. Ben says, hey, I want to have an appointment with Marielle. Marielle has some time scheduled, so you can choose a time. And you said, okay, the 24th of February at 9 o'clock, I want to talk with her. You will get an email, and she will get an email so that you can come on the platform. Be on time on the platform, log in, and you will find each other and you can talk. And how you can find each other and talk is by clicking on Start Session or going to your inbox and notes or notities. And then it will pop up some sort of Skype tool. And in this Skype tool, you can connect to your coach, you talk to your coach. So for example, I am the coach. It's a sort of, like you see, WhatsApp. You can leave a message, hey Bwerani, I'm 5 minutes late, or next time I'm going to do this or that. And you can, by clicking here, see your coach and really talk to your coach. And of course, your coach is going to say wonderful things, so you need to write something down. So you can write something down here, it will save it for you in your account. Nobody can see it. Or your coach and you can discuss several things, and you can leave it for each other. For example, your planning or what you have discussed with your coach. Of course, you have your agenda. Your agenda is empty at this moment, but you see all your appointments in here. You have the community, then you go to the Facebook community with other community members, with other coaches, which will share information with you. And of course, and this is the nice part, I think, is if you scroll down, you come into the Meester Je Leven library, where you have ebooks, where you have some downloads and things that you can read, also some of the things that were printed out today, ebooks with meditation or a podcast, and whoops, oh, it's opening now, and videos, the video library. For example, it's just short videos from 10, 15, or 20 minutes with some information, in this case, how to make better choices. And she will explain in 12 minutes how you can make better choices. And now you have your own personal development and your own Netflix of personal development at your fingertips. So if there are any questions, thank you for your time. Sorry?
Is it in Dutch?
There are things in English, but most of the things are in Dutch. I'm now talking with English-speaking coaches. There will be more English content on the platform and English videos. Yeah.